Hi friends, good morning. We want to welcome you in here at 6 o'clock. We're glad you're starting off your week with us. I'm Tim Pham. Well, let's start things off here on the show with a look at your weather forecast. Nicole Hernandez is in the Weather Center right now tracking today's forecast. Nicole, it sounds like some moisture maybe moving in our direction, but not in Spokane quite yet. So what's the track on this one?
Yeah, definitely not yet. Right now we have some moisture moving kind of through central Washington, even a little bit south of the Palouse, kind of in the Lewiston area. But for the most part, that doesn't reach us until tonight into tomorrow. As for our visibility right now, I just wanted to pop this up real quick. We do have a little bit of fog settling just west of Spokane. Very normal spot for our fog to settle, and even has been getting better in the past hour, dropping or going up from half-mile visibility to 2 miles of visibility now. Looking at temperatures though, nice look out at Coeur d'Alene, 30 degrees here in the Spokane area. Across the region, most of us in the 30s with definitely some cloud cover. That cloud cover ends up sticking around likely through the rest of the day, but we do warm up to high 30s, which is above average.
Happening this week, a suspect in the deadly Minnehaha shooting is expected to make an appearance in court. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live in the newsroom for us right now. So Brandon, we've been covering this story for days now. Tell us more about how police got the guy and what's next.
Tim, well, what we know so far is that the Spokane Police Department arrested Brandon Kinney on Saturday in connection to the deaths of 2 people. The victims were found dead in the Minnehaha neighborhood on Friday, December 8th. According to SPD, they arrested 25-year-old Kinney for 2 counts of first-degree murder. The Spokane County Medical Examiner's Office identified the victims as 23-year-old Kiara Morgan Weiland and 37-year-old Colton Russell. SPD says at this point, it appears the suspect knew the victims and that this wasn't a random act. Kinney's had 6 prior felony convictions that includes criminal mischief with a deadly weapon, theft, and burglary. We're working to confirm the time the suspect makes his first appearance. Once we get more information on that and details on this investigation, we'll update you across all platforms. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Brandon T. Jones.
This morning, we now know more about what led up to a shooting near Royal City that sent 2 people to a Wenatchee hospital. The Grant County Sheriff's Office responded to an orchard on Friday night. There, they found one victim inside the community kitchen building and the other outside holding down the shooting suspect. Deputies say the 67-year-old suspect told investigators he and the victims were drinking when an argument about work started. The suspect reportedly shot the victims after a quick struggle between them. The sheriff's office reports one victim was treated and released. The other remains in intensive care. The suspect has been booked into the Grant County Jail on charges of assault. The preliminary hearing for the Idaho man accused of shooting and killing his pregnant wife is postponed. Court documents show a hearing for Jeremy Best was supposed to happen today. However, now that won't happen until his competency evaluation is complete. Earlier this month, police say Best shot and killed his wife and her unborn child on his property in Victor, Idaho. He was also accused of kidnapping his 10-month-old son, Zeke, after those murders. Police found Zeke's body where Jeremy's car rolled off an embankment near Idaho Falls. He has not been charged in connection with Zeke's death. In just 10 days, the University of Idaho plans to demolish the house where 4 University of Idaho students were killed. This morning, KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy found out some families of the victims still question why it needs to happen so soon.
Friday, the house on King Road stood much as it has for the better part of a year, boarded up, quiet, except for security posted outside, though that won't be for much longer.
So we truly believe that it's time. It's time for the house to come down.
The University of Idaho now owns the house on King Road and says it'll be demolished December 28th. The university says this is a step forward in healing for students and the community.
The area where the house is located is very dense with students, and we wanted to do it at a time when they wouldn't have to be there to be a part of that. And so that fell to the winter break, making the most sense.
But the family of Kaylee Gonzalez, one of the 4 students killed, is asking why demolition can't wait until after trial, though that date is still undetermined. In a statement, the family said in part, "This is one of the most horrific crimes in the history of Idaho, And the University of Idaho wants to destroy the most critical pieces of evidence in the case. The family says they have stressed to the university and prosecutors the emotional and evidentiary importance of the house. Quote, "No one seems to care enough. It's like screaming into a void."
The house is a daily reminder. We'll never forget. We can't forget, but we can heal. We can come together and we can begin to move into the next phase.
In October, the FBI took several photos and 3D scans of the house for prosecutors. The defense has also been seen collecting evidence inside, though not when KREM 2 was on scene Friday.
Generally speaking, it's a good idea to preserve the scene of a crime as much and as long as you possibly can in case issues arise during trial or issues arise even after trial on appeal.
Boise-based criminal defense attorney David Leroy says sometimes juries will want to walk through a space, especially one as large and complex as the house on King Road. But in this case, he says, both sides have time and technology to recreate the structure.
Because we'll have diagrams and perhaps three-dimensional recreations, lots of photographs, lots of video, I would not expect the jury to be lost in the spatial relations inside the home in understanding the crime scene.
The university says clearing the site will likely take several days. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
It is 6:07. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. This morning, the murder retrial for the former Pasco police officer Richard Aguirre continues. Police accuse him of killing Ruby Doss back in 1986. This is actually the second time Aguirre has been in a Spokane County courtroom accused of murder. So the trial could enter closing statements as early as this week. New in the last 24 hours, police say a man wanted for an Okanagan County double murder could be around the Pend Oreille area. So take a look at your screen here. Here's a picture of 27-year-old Dylan Harrington. He's been on the run since last year. If you see him, you are asked to call 911. They also say not to approach him as he is considered armed and dangerous. Happening now, more than 50 law enforcement agencies across Idaho plan to ramp up enforcement to get impaired drivers off the roads. The Idaho Transportation Department says the increased patrols started on Saturday and last until New Year's Day. Data from the Idaho Office of Highway Safety shows there were more than 1,800 crashes involving impaired drivers. Another legal win for Oregon State and Washington State universities. The Washington State Supreme Court decided to give both schools full control of the remaining assets of the PAC-12. The Supreme Court declined to review the appeal, leaving in place a lower court's ruling. That ruling says the 10 departing schools lost their right to be part of the conference's decision-making board when they announced they planned on joining different conferences. That is a look at your morning rush.
So we've been talking about some of the wet weather moving its way through excuse me, our region right now. You can see most of it falling in a band between Yakima and Omak at the moment. Some of that now towards the Othello area turning into rain. It was a big bulk of snow at about 5 o'clock this morning. For the most part, not affecting us here in eastern Washington and North Idaho. We just have a little bit of snow or rain falling through the Lewiston area right now. For the most part, though, when we start seeing rain and snow isn't until tonight into tomorrow morning. So you can see that first band move its way through, and then through Tuesday we see some more showers here and there move their way through. For the most part for us, rain. Some people in the mountains could get snow.